What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're focusing on the SA rugby players that did not take the knee this past weekend when the Gallagher Premiership opened its gates for rugby after the COVID-19 break. Now, it's caused a storm across the world, but definitely in South Africa, where the Sports Minister Nathi Mthethwa has threatened the players and said that SA Rugby need to hold an investigation as to why players with the likes of Faf de Klerk, Akker and Merwe, the du Preez brothers, why they didn't take a knee this past weekend. Now, obviously, the Gallagher Premiership said that they are behind the movement of Black Lives Matters. But they also stated to the players that they can show their support for the movement any way they like, whereas wear the shirt, which our South African players, including the other ones, were wearing, or they could take a knee like majority of the certain players were doing, or they could just express their views, etc., etc. But they encouraged the guys to please support the movement. Now, the Sports Minister of South Africa has gone down at these guys, asking for an investigation to see whether or not there's racism involved here. Now, the thing is, there's a whole different way to look at it. Black Lives Matter movement has taken the world by storm. A lot of it for positivity in raising awareness, doing peaceful protests for the right reasons to create equality amongst all. And obviously the movement for Black Lives Matter. Then there's also the negative protests that's threatening people's lives for not doing certain things. Firstly, we all have the right to say what we want, freedom of speech. And secondly, people have belief systems where they will only take a knee for their savior. You can't force or threaten a person for deciding differently. Now, these South African players still wore the shirt in support of Black Lives Matter movement, in support, and you could see it in the guys' faces. They weren't just standing there for shits and giggles. They were doing it because they obviously supported the system. Question that I also have to you is, how many people are taking the knee that actually don't even care, that actually are hiding a little bit of racism in between, or are doing it just for the show to make themselves look good, or so that they don't get threatened? There are many people who can be questioned in this situation, but because it's South African rugby players, the world has taken it hit by a storm because of the negativity of politics in sport. I said it before and I'll say it again, politics and sport do not go together. We've seen careers get destroyed. We've seen franchises get destroyed because of politics intervening in certain instances. And I'm not going to go into detail because if you know sport, you know what I'm talking about. Recently, we've got hits of Black Lives Matter that is pretty much destroying the face of cricket South Africa in this country, obviously in South Africa. And when I say destroying, it's bringing up so many old pasts of players that feel that they were unnecessarily untreated. And rightly so. There are players who were definitely unfairly untreated because of their colour, and obviously coaching opportunities, development opportunities, management opportunities. But let's not forget, there are also players who are not who are white, who are coloured, who also missed out on opportunities for that exact reasons. We can go back to a certain Cricket World Cup final where a player was chosen ahead of another. We can talk about a sports minister at the time phoning the CEO of Cricket South Africa saying someone needs to play. There's so many instances that we can talk about, but one thing's for sure is you need to use this movement in a way of positivity and not negativity. If a person has a belief where they will only bow down for their savior, you cannot threaten their lives or threaten their careers because they decide not to. They are still supporting the cause. They are still wearing the shirt. And people need to think about this. The same thing with Lewis Hamilton. The way he has caused such a storm with people who are not taking the knee. Yet he's been given everything he wanted all his life. Look at the gold, the chains, the diamonds he's been wearing. Why doesn't he donate all of that to the movement or to charities or to the poor or to the homeless? There's not much talk about that, but yet he's got a big mouth to chirp and all these things that are going out. Then we also talk about certain players in South Africa who are now claiming Black Lives Matters movement or going on the hype of it to try and revive things that happened to them in the past, or to try and clear their names for decisions that they made that completely destroyed their careers. We talk about Chili Boy Ralapele, who's now trying to fall on the Black Lives Matter because of his doping scandal. Now, if it happened once by an accident, okay, maybe we can look past it a second time, but a third time, he got caught 3 times. Ladies and gents, that is criminal offence. It's not allowed in sport. Boom. Look at Lance Armstrong, for example. We look at match fixing in cricket. There are instances where players are now claiming that they weren't fairly treated because of their colour. Now, hear me out here before people start judging. If it's a case that there was biased movements because a player was either white or black, then whoever needs to be fired, because that's unfair. And whoever was given favourite treatment, maybe due to a race, then they need to be prosecuted and banned just as much as those other guys who are currently be banned. But don't hype on a movement to create more negativity and to try and revive your career. If you accept a bribe or accept a communication from your captain for match fixing, you are guilty. Nothing can change what you did. Look at Hansie Cronje. What Cricket South Africa did to that man destroyed his life and career. Now, I'm not condoning it. I was a Hansie hero and I battled to forgive the man when he did that to the country. But let's not forget, he is human. What they did to him was criminal in a way, because there are players like the War Brothers, Shane Warne, a lot of other players who have been involved in certain types of match fixing, and they just get a clean slate and they can still play because they're the almighty Australians. That is also crap. But politics in sport, and this isn't just South Africa, by the way, that is international cricket, international sport. Politics, fraud in the sport is destroying this brilliant type of thing that can unite a nation, it can unite a world, and we can use a cause like this to unite people together, to educate and teach. That's what it's all about, is raising awareness to unite people. No matter what race, no matter what religion, no matter what gender, you can play, you can perform, you can represent your country, your province internationally, and show the world what you're made of, and show the world that no matter what color, no matter what challenges, your story can change someone's life and can give hope to people who are in the townships, to people who have nothing, to people who are just about to maybe go on a criminal record or who are going to take drugs. But by seeing someone's success story out there, they can make the choice and say, wow, let me backtrack and let me follow the likes of the heroes out there who have changed the face of the world, because sport has done it. Nelson Mandela has always said, sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to unite. It is more powerful than governments, than breaking down racial barriers. But if the governments are involved in sport and are destroying the sport, then there's no hope. Then there's no future. Cricket South Africa used to be one of the most dominant cricket teams in the world, but politics has stuffed it up. And now we've seen the CEO, acting CEO, chairman resign. Why? Graham Smith takes a knee, and now Tommy Tulekile threatens him, and now his life is being given threatened, and people are deserting him because he's done the right thing, but now he's the negative guy because he's like almost left our people, and etc, etc. Shit is at the fan because no one knows what to do right now. Whether you take a knee or not, whether you stand and acknowledge the situation, whether you wear a t-shirt or not, one way or another, some form of negative media is going to take you on. Me creating this video, people will take me on. But if we're not raising awareness for the equality of all people, then what's the point of living? What's the point of moving forward? If you want to protest, protest with respect. Protest the right way, by educating, helping people, not by vandalizing things, not by threatening people's lives, not by causing things that just creates a scary platform for people in the world. What the government always misses is they focus on negative media very quickly, especially if it's something like this. But there's still no word on farm murders when your own president, Cyril Ramaphosa, says to Bloomberg, I think it was, overseas, that there are no farm murders. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. For the first time, Donald Trump is actually talking sense. And look at it. They are farm murders. Every second, third day. The stats are there. But no one's talking about it. We rather focus on negative media that can destroy a nation rather than unite a nation. We need to think this through, and we need to stick together, and we need to work together no matter what race, no matter what religion, no matter your gender, no matter your disability. If we all sit and unite, guys, we can create a great world. But we're not going to do it if we listen to the negative media out there, to the negativity of biasness from a government or from a political party or from a sporting nation or from a brand. Let's work together and let's conquer the negativity and hatred in this world that is constantly consuming our lives and is destroying other people's lives. We have a massive pandemic that is taking so much from us. We do not need more negativity in this world. And by going on with crap like this is just creating a very, very negative world. I'm going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.